So, welcome to our Monday Namaste session. As always, it's so beautiful to see all of you and to be able to feel this holy joining. This is the time, this is the moment that we chose to remember this state of inherent oneness that is above and beyond anything else, because it is the only thing. This state of oneness is the only thing that exists. And our willingness, which is all we're expressing here, is our willingness to allow that to penetrate this split idea of self is all that's required. It's all that we need to come together and to be willing to see through that veil to the wholeness that is the only reality that exists. And so today we're going to talk about that reality and the desire and the longing for that holy expression. Because whatever you really, really want, whatever you want with your whole mind, your whole heart, your whole soul, is going to be what you experience. And unfortunately, until now, in our egoic state, what we have wanted, what we have desired is separation, is the egoic world where everything is on a carrot stick and never really able to achieve or be able to ever finally arrive at this state of oneness that we feel, that we know to be within. But today we're going to talk about how do we actually feel that? How do we receive that and allow that to penetrate every part of our life? We're going to go back a little bit to what we shared yesterday, that beautiful Rumi poem, which said in part that we have to have an all-encompassing longing for God. And when we do, when we have that all-encompassing yearning and longing for one thing, then that great pearl, the pearl of great price, will be ours. So it's wholeness. Wholeness. You know, when I'm back in Portland with my daughter, there's a restaurant that we love to go to. Actually, it's not even really a restaurant. They have a lot of little push carts around Portland, and there is one very, very small little restaurant with about 4 tables that we often go to. And sometimes we'll just look at each other and we know what we're thinking. We want to go to Whole Bowl. It's a little place, a small little place, and they serve only one thing: beans and rice. You can get a big one or you can get a small one. But there's something about it. There's something about the simplicity of knowing that there's only one thing to choose from, and it's the simple, most delicious thing you could ever have. And Whole Bowl, I like the way that that sounds together. It reminds me of another rhyme, which would be whole soul. It's like Jesus saying that if there's only one thing for you to pay attention to, that you should give your whole mind, your whole heart, and your whole soul to God. You shall love God. Love God with your whole mind, your whole heart, and your whole soul. And once again, when you love God with your whole soul, there's only one. There's only one choice. I don't even know if there's a big or a little within that. There's only one choice, and it's so simple. And this becomes so simple when we allow it to be so, when we choose to see the simplicity of salvation, when our desire for that wholeness is whole instead of partial. You see, the ego lives with partiality. Everything is partial. I can want something, or I can do something, or I can give myself to something up to this point. Even if it's that 99% point, I better hold back a little bit for me, just in case. It's the idea that I can hold anything back for me that gets me in trouble, because then I allow the illusion of me to exist, rather than realizing there is no me, there is no separate identity, there's no such thing as a Jimmy. That's the only problem I have. And that's why back here in the anchor hold, my only real prayer is remove me from the thought or the idea or the concept of me. Allow the true self to emerge, not this split small self that deals with impartiality in everything. I like that, Baraka. There's whole bowl. One thing. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. It's a pretty old movie now called City Slickers. And there's a great part played by Jack Palance where he keeps saying to the guys who are out on this they're learning to become cowboys. They're city boys trying to become cowboys. And he says, there's only one thing you have to pay attention to. I can't remember the exact words, but he keeps saying only one thing, only one thing. They say, well, what's the one thing? And he won't say. Because we have to find that one thing within us. Remember, it's always and only about a whole desire. Not to just want the scraps that fall off of that divine table, but to want to sit at the table. Oh, Lily, you just go play with somebody else. Lily's at my door. Hold on, let me let her in. While you ponder that whole desire. Come on in. Okay. Let me read a little something that I wrote on my phone in regard to this, to see if it goes a little bit deeper. So really just listen to this with your whole heart. Don't really even hear it with your mind, because the mind's never going to be able to comprehend this. It can't understand wholeness, and that's what we're talking about. But you can want it, you can desire it. Most of all, it's like Rumi said, that all-encompassing yearning for God. So here we go. It's very short. I am no longer satisfied with the crumbs that fall from your table, beloved. Pick me up off the ground and set me next to you so that we may feast together. I am thirsty only for the wine that came before the vine was planted. I'm drunk from a single sip. One more time. I'm no longer satisfied with the crumbs that fall from your table, beloved. Pick me up off the ground and set me next to you so that we may feast together. I am thirsty only for the wine that came before the vine was even planted. I'm drunk from a single sip. This is the wholeness we're speaking of. Separation is like trying to be satisfied with crumbs that fall from the table of God, from the beloved. But we're never going to be satisfied with this. The only thing that will ever satisfy our soul is the whole thing, the whole soul. Here's a little bit more. I'm no longer satisfied walking along the shore of your great ocean. Let the current pull me to the deepest part. I want to drown in your love. I'm prepared to pay any price for that love, any price. Leave me with nothing so that I may know that in you I am everything. Once again, a whole desire for truth. We could use many words, love, the divine, the beloved God, but we know, in the deepest part of us, we know what we're talking about. Beyond the words, beyond the concept, beyond any idea. But when we just allow that yearning to become so strong that the beloved is all we desire, everything else, of course, will come to us as well. But every great mystic has said the same thing. Follow the love, follow the light, follow that yearning for God. Allow it to take over everything in your life. Now, it's not like you're going to instantly be able to just snap your fingers and be there. It's a practice. It's something that we move toward, but we begin with the intention and the willingness to want it. And coming together here every day is a part of that. Hearing these words, really hearing them, not just with your mind, but with the deepest part of who you are. Hearing them and saying, yes, I'm feeling that. That's what I want. That's a step in the right direction. The chanting and the prayers that we do or that you do, the meditation, is another part of it. Every opportunity, every step brings us closer. It becomes more and more consistent within us. I just read a thing from Yogananda the other day where it said, when you meditate in this way and you pray in this way, you're able to take the ego and put it up in the branches of a tree. But then when you come out, it jumps right back out of the tree. Until you become so well adept, until the consistency of this practice and this yearning and this longing becomes so strong that it can't find its way back. And that's the point that we're moving towards, so that the separate self can't find its way back, and you're left only with that whole experience of one. And so we inspire each other. We come together. We join. And we share that desire together. And speaking of sharing that desire together, I didn't see if Vicky, are you here today? I didn't get a chance to look before. Okay. Well, we have another surprise, which is that our dear Christina has arrived here at Namaste, and you can see her wearing the mask. We have a rule that when people get off airplanes, they got to wear a mask and be pretty good about that for a couple of weeks. But you can take off your mask when you're talking, dear one. And did someone set up the microphone for Christina?
Can't figure it out, but this will do.
Okay, I just want to make sure you guys can hear her. Good morning, Christina. Welcome to Namaste.
Morning. Hi. Can you hear me okay?
If you could move a little bit closer, it's kind of hard to hear you. That's good. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's
Wonderful
much better.
to be here. Thank you for the invitation and the welcome. Wow, look at all these people behind me. It wasn't like this before.
Yeah, before it was you just sitting in your chair in your little apartment. Now you got the whole community.
Oh, now life begins. Straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, and few there be that find it. That longing, that one desire is what leads us, guides us, so that our path is intentional and undistracted. As our human selves, we are so distractible. Instead of going straight through the gate along the narrow path, we can find lots of diversions along the way. So as we give our entire being, our entire heart to that source within us, it creates the desire so strong in us that there is no other desire that will satiate. We like to say that we need to have one desire, but it actually is that source within us that will make us so hungry that we will not want anything but that. So may we all allow ourselves to simply rest in that one desire and trust it. When we get distracted, come back and just continue to trust. There is nothing more trustworthy in this human experience than that itself. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Christina. You know, first of all, you can see I'm holding Lily here, and I'm sure we all know that There's nothing more devoted than a dog. They have such supreme devotion and love. We can learn so much from them. And there's something else that you said that I really liked. You talked about it's not me that is desiring. It may seem like that. It may seem in the moment that I perceive that I have some kind of a split identity, that it's me that's wanting or desiring or longing. But really, it's the source within me longing for itself. That's the thing. You can let it feel like it's me who wants to have that experience, but ultimately it's the source within me that is desiring only itself. So go to that source, stay with that foundation, that truth of who you are. And whatever way makes sense to you, it could be in silence, it could be chanting, it could be praying, it could be exercising. Whatever works for you, dive into that source. Let's see if there's anybody else. We'll come back to, oops, I accidentally muted you guys. Go ahead and unmute yourself again, and I'm going to let Lily out. She wants to get out. Anybody there at Namaste want to share? I heard that. How about you, Joy? You want to share anything?
Sure. Yeah, it's as Christina once was saying earlier, that the path is just narrow. So to me, it's like it's way easier to follow the path if I'm just open to listening and following, and then everything seems to be simpler and easier. And all these diversions, just they are still there, but I can just look through them, and it's like poof, it's like nothing, you know. And then I can just keep walking, but then again, sometimes whatever thought comes, or whatever fear or guilt, and whoa, diversion seems to be very real, and it seems like I'm just going another way and just stumbling, and yeah, that can be very hard and painful. And to me, that yearning from within, that longing, is what helps me come back to my center, just where I can be receptive, where I can be relaxed, where I can welcome whatever comes, where I can say, "Thy will be done, it doesn't matter, no matter what." And then the path again becomes more visible, and the diversions become more, I don't know, they just become like something that's not really there, that I can see, I know what,
Right.
okay, I'll just pass through this and I won't mind you. And I can just keep going, keep walking, even without hesitating or questioning myself, because that longing within is actually guiding me towards itself. And then I can be just like, oh my God. And that's where I want to be. That's what I desire, but it comes from that longing. So yeah, the path can be very, very soft and calm and easy, and yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Joy. You know, I forgot to mention that usually, lately anyway, Monday has been Miracle Monday. And you've seen me sharing some kind of a fun trick, I guess you could say, an illusion, a way of maybe learning a lesson, but illusions are illusions. And so I thought today we're going to stay with the truth. We don't need these illusions anymore for us to learn the truth. We just need the truth. The illusion is like you were saying, Joey, like a brick wall, and we're so afraid that if we run toward it, we're going to smash into it and hurt ourselves. But when we finally have the trust to know that there is nothing solid there, there's nothing there that can harm me. It's just a wall of mist. It only looks solid. It's just a mist, like a cloud. And if I run toward it, I'll pass right through it. There's no danger in running to and through and into the truth itself, into heaven itself. And anything within me that says, no, be afraid of that. Hold something back. Don't give everything. Whatever you do, don't give everything. Make sure you keep something for yourself. There is no self. There's only the highest, truest self that we share, that I am presence. So don't trust any of those illusions that say, hold back, don't give everything. Give it all. Give it all. Baraka, I see you have your hand up. Go right ahead.
Oh, I was wondering if it would be okay if I read a couple of paragraphs from the course. Would that be
Sure,
okay with
please.
everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got to switch screens here so I can read it because I haven't memorized it yet. This is from in the purple book. This is from chapter 21, the inner picture, part 2, the imagined world, and these are paragraphs number 10 and 11. Beyond the body, beyond the sun and stars, past everything you see and yet somehow familiar, is an arc of golden light that stretches as you look into a great and shining circle. And all the circle fills with light before your eyes. The edges of the circle disappear, and what is in it is no longer contained at all. The light expands and covers everything, extending to infinity, forever shining and with no break or limit anywhere. Within it, everything is joined in perfect continuity, nor is it possible to imagine that anything could be outside, for there is nowhere that this light is not. This is the vision of the Son of God, whom you know well. Here is the sight of him who knows his Father. Here is the memory of what you are, a part of this. With all of it within and joined to all, as surely as all is joined in you. Accept the vision which can show you this and not the body. You know the ancient song and know it well. Nothing will ever be as dear to you as this ancient hymn of love the Son of God sings to his Father still.
Wow. Thank you, Baraka.
Oh, thank you.
It's so simple, isn't it? We just have to let it be simple and want it to be simple. Unfortunately, we've wanted it to be complicated for a long time. For some odd reason, we like complications, we like partialities, but it's time to give all of that up. It's
And
time
to remember.
Yeah, and just remember the truth that we just heard, that light is all around us now. We just need to say yes and allow it to. We just need to open up our eyes. The light could be all around you, but if your eyes are closed, you're only seeing parts, dim parts of it. It's time for us to be awake. You are so needed right now. Your light, your vision is so required. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very big day for us here in the U.S. And as we said yesterday, it's simply ours to seek the highest possibility that we cannot know, but that we can become the instruments of. We can become the instruments of that highest, brightest reality. And whatever needs to come up to allow that light to shine, we say yes to. That's all.